Matt, I would imagine it's a delight for you to have picked up an assist and in the game and the victory on Tuesday.
Yeah, it was nice. I thought, especially first half, I think the performance was really good. I think there's obviously bits in the sort of second half that we need to work on and managing a bit of momentum maybe and understanding the game situation. But no, delighted to get an assist.
Liam Manning said he's been tracking your career for a while, and he's obviously brought you to the club. How have you settled in so far?
Yeah, it's been fantastic. The lads and the staff have ever since my first day have been great. There's a real sort of team unity. Obviously, a lot of people talk about, but for me, seeing that firsthand is fantastic.
And presumably, the aim for you now is to just fight to play every game, week in, week out.
Yeah, it's difficult. Obviously we keep winning and stuff, but in a way that's also a good thing. So I feel like on Tuesday when the opportunity is given to me to show what I can do, I can perform and give everything for the team.
How much enjoyment is it being? How much enjoyment is there being part of this squad at the moment because everything's moving in the right direction, everything's so good. It must be a great place to work.
Yeah, it is. Like obviously everyone's in a good mood. But I know it sounds cliche, but we really don't get too high. Obviously we're on a really good run, but I think the main reason for that is the fact that we stay quite balanced and we treat it as a normal day. And obviously maybe when before we haven't had results that have gone well, we're not too low either. So we talk a lot about being on balanced and making sure that we don't get too high and don't get too low. And at the moment that's you're seeing that is a good place to be.
And the game's coming thick and fast, and they don't come bigger. They don't come bigger this season than the one on Saturday. I mean, it's a wonderful fixture to be involved in, isn't it?
Yeah, it's they're a big club and obviously they're in a good position in the league. And if we want to try and do what we want to do this season, they're the sort of teams like we did at Rotherham, where we've got to stand up and really be show what we can do.
A lot of players, a lot of the younger players, are experiencing football, with fans for kind of like the first time because there was a period in their development, obviously, as they were coming through, where there were no fans inside the
Yeah.
ground. And what's it like to be part of that now? There's obviously big crowds, and it's going to be very loud and vocal on Saturday.
Yeah, it's what you play football for, to be in front of fans. And it's last season, and was a bit of a weird one. A lot of motivation can come from the fans, and you know I think last season especially having to maybe work within a little bit more to try and find that sort of extra 10-15% that the fans give you towards the back of a game. So I think even you see on Tuesday that I really think the home crowd gave us a lift, and it was the same away at Rotherham. I thought the fans were fantastic, and yeah, it's delightful to see everyone back in the stadium now.
Is Liam Manning one of the most calm and level-headed coaches you've ever worked with?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and that's what I think through the club is the getting the balance right between not getting too high and not getting too low, and making sure that we continue to do our work and get the right sort of things out every day in training by not dealing with emotion differences from winning or losing at the weekend. It continues on the same sort of path that we want to stay balanced, and we all want to improve as footballers, and the staff want to improve as coaches and analysis and everything. So everyone's on the sort of same path to get better and improve.
And I often ask this question of players who have joined the club relatively recently because we haven't seen a huge amount of you, Matt. So obviously we've seen you in particular roles. If you were the head coach and you were to place you into a position on the pitch, where would it be? Where exactly would you play?
I think it would be probably in the midfield too. Um, but there's been times in my career where I've played a bit further on, and there's even times where I've played at fullback. So and so that ideally in the midfield too. But I think I can cover a few positions.
Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thanks.
You mentioned playing in that midfield two there, but that's a densely populated zone for MK Dons, isn't it? And there's so much quality in there as well. It must be, great to know that you're a part of that, but also that you're spurring each other on to be better.
Yeah, I think I think since a few players coming in January, you've seen other players raise their levels, and sort of a perfect team environment that you have to do that. If you want to play, because there's so many good players in this squad that if you're not doing the things that you should do and not performing maybe how you should do, then people know that there's opportunities that someone else can come in. And you've seen over the last sort of few games that the performances that the lads have put in has been fantastic. And as a squad, I feel like we're in a really good place with the balance between knowing when to play and knowing when not to play. I think all round we're in a really good position at the minute.
And Luke alluded to it earlier when he said that Liam Manning was tracking your career for a little while. Does that help sway you, knowing that a manager's not just picked up on your form for the last couple of weeks or so when it comes up to the transfer window, but that you've been a long-term target and they've actually been big fans of you for a little while?
Yeah, I think 100%. Obviously before sort of January, I wasn't really playing that much, so I knew that it wasn't because I was in good form. And as soon as I spoke to him and Liam, that I knew that they really have a project. And I spoke about it before, but as soon sort of from that meeting, it was almost like I felt like they really wanted me to be a part of this, and that's something that for me is massive. And it's been the same since I've come in, that I think what the gaffer here wants is everyone to get better. And I think everyone wants that in life and in football. So yeah, it's fantastic.
We know that the club, obviously you as players and Liam himself always says, don't get too high, don't get too low. Just take each game as it comes. But this game tomorrow, it's massive, isn't it? It's potentially a 6-pointer, but it's probably not make or break in the season, is it? Even though Wigan have got all these games in hand.
Yeah, I think it's hard because you don't want to almost get too enrolled in the fact that it's a big game, and that's something that we haven't done. You look at the weekend, went away to Rotherham, a place that is a difficult place to go, and for me we treated it like it was a normal game, and I think it helps us because we don't put pressure on ourselves, we don't big ourselves up, and there's another side of us that know that we want to win football matches, and that's whoever against, whatever day, whatever time, that's what we're all here to do, is win football matches. And this weekend, won't be any different.